Hello everyone, this is the RECode challenge being conducted in PSG College of Technology by the Coding Club. So this year they have two tracks in RECode 3. One is coding and the other one is tools. I'll be doing coding today. So to talk about myself, my name is SRUTHI, roll number is 237 from CSC BE second year. The problem statement which I was given is as follows. There are n indexed robots, each having a position, health, and direction. Here n is actually the number of robots. Position, health, and direction is actually an arrays. That is, position and health are integer arrays, and direction is a string array. All robots start moving on the line simultaneously at the same speed in their given directions. This means that all the robots are the same line and they will move simultaneously with the same speed in their given directions. Here directions represent either right or left. If two robots ever share the same position while moving, they will collide. So if suppose one robot is moving in the right direction and the other robot is moving in the left direction, then obviously they will collide. If two robots collide, the robot with lower health is removed from the line and the health of the other robot decreases by 1. So, after collision, the robot which has lower health will be destroyed. And the other robot which survives this collision, its health will be decreased by 1. The surviving robot continues in the same direction it was going. If both robots have the same health, they are both removed from the line. This means that if both the robots have the same health, after collision, both of these robots will be destroyed. So what is to be implemented? We are given 0 indexed integer arrays of position, health, and string directions. So as I told earlier, positions and healths are nothing but integer arrays, and direction is nothing but string array. So your task is to determine the health of the robots to survive the collisions. So our main task in this program is that we have to give the health of the surviving robots as output. If suppose there are no survivors, we have to return an empty array. So return an array containing the health of the remaining robots after no further collisions can occur. So after all the collisions are completed, we have to output the array with the health of the surviving robots. This is actually a sample input and sample output. So the number of robots is 4 here. And the positions is 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, the positions can be sorted or unsorted according to the user. So this means that robot 1 will have the position 1, robot 2 the position 2, robot 3 the position 3, and robot 4 the position 4. Health is 3, 6, 7, 8. So this means that the robot which is in position 1 will have the health 3. The robot which is in position 2 will have the health 6. The robot which is in position 3 will have the health 7. And the robot which is in position 4 will have the health 8. So direction R, L, R, L. So as I told you earlier, R represents right and L represents left. So robot 1 will move in right direction. Robot 2 will move in left direction and so on. So after looking at this, we can get the output as 5 and 7 because robot 1 has the health 3 and robot 2 has the health 6. So obviously robot 1 will be destroyed and the robot 2 which has the health 6, it will be decreased by 1 and hence 5 will be returned. Similarly, robot 3 and robot 4 will collide because RL, one is moving in right direction, other one is moving in left direction. So the health which is low, this third robot will be destroyed, and the fourth robot, its health will be decreased by 1, which is 7. So 5, 7 will be returned. So now I'll be talking about the code. So this is the code. So the first line is actually function def robot collisions n compositions health direction. So this means that this function has 4 parameters. N represents the number of robots, positions represents the position of each robot, health is the health of the robots, and direction is the direction of the robots. Next line is actually a list. It will create a list of these robots, and for each robot it will return a tuple. So the second line will create a list of tuples called robots. Each tuple contains the position of the robot, the health of the robot, direction of the robot, and the index of the robot. So a list comprehension, this is nothing but a list comprehension. for I in range of n. So which means that for each n robots, it will iterate. It will give a list of tuples. A list comprehension is used to gather this information for all n robots. So next one is robots dot sort t equals lambda x such that x of 0. So what does this mean? This will sort the robots list by their positions. That is the first element of each tuple. For example, I have already given a code here. So that is, if the number of robots is 3, and this first array is nothing but position of these 3 robots, 1, 2, 3. Next array is the health of these robots, 10, 7, 6. So the position 1th robot will have 10, position health of 10, then the health of 7 for second robot, health of 6 for third robot. Next one is RLR, which is in direction. So after this list comprehension, first index will be positions, next one will be health, directions, and I. So likewise, first one will be the position, second will be the health, third will be the direction, and the fourth will be the index. Since n is 3, the index will actually start from 0 to n minus 1. So 0 to 2. So this will be the list comprehension of the second line. Then robots the sort. This means that this list will be sorted according to the position. The position is actually sorted, so nothing to be done here. So it's correct 0, 1, 2. Suppose it is not sorted, it will sort the array with respect to its positions. So next one is robots of list. So we are creating, initializing an empty list, robots list, that will be used to keep track of robots that are still active and facing right, that is direction right. Next, result equals none. That is an array with a none value star n. So what does this mean? This will create a list called result with n elements initialized to none. So this list will store the final health values of the robots that survive. So now you know why none is here, right? So for n robots, we are actually keeping the value none. So this result list will actually have the robots that are still active and facing direction right. Next one, for pose is nothing for position, health, direction, and index in robots. It's actually a loop that iterates over each robot. So from the sorted robots list, this is a sorted robots list. So from this sorted robots list, it will iterate over each parameters. Next one, we're coming to the if clause. If the direction equals R. So what does this mean? Is that if the robot is facing right, it is added to robots list for further collisions. So suppose if the first robot or second robot is in moving in the right direction, it will be appended to the robots list waiting for the collision to happen. Next is else. That is after if clause is else clause. In else, we are having another loop, while loop. It means that if the robot is facing left L, this checks if there are any robots in robots list that are facing right. The while loop continues as long as the robots list is not empty and the last robot in the list is facing right. So this means that there's this while loop and it is checking if any of these robots in the list are actually facing right. So this will continue as long as the list is not empty and the robot is facing right. Next one is R position. What does R position mean? R position is nothing but the right facing robot. R position, R health, R direction, R index means that the robot which is right facing. So all these parameters will be equated to robots list dot pop. So what does this mean is that the robot at the end of robots list, that is the most recently added right facing robot, is removed from the list and all of its attributes are unpacked. Next one is if suppose the right facing health is greater than the health of the robot, then the health will be initialized to 0. Else minus 1. So it means that if the right-facing robot has more health than the left-facing robot, this is the right-facing robot, left-facing robot. So if the right-facing robot has more health than the left-facing robot, the left robot is destroyed. So that's why the health is 0. Then the right robot's health will be decreased by 1. So now we can understand why elif and else clause is used. So if the right facing robot's health is less than the left facing robot's health, then the left facing robot's health will be initialized to 0 and the right facing robot's health will be decreased by 1. Next, if both the robots have the same health, suppose if both the robots are the same health, the left robot is destroyed. Its health is set to 0. That is why else is here. And the while loop will exit. Okay, so this is the while loop. So while loop will exit. After that, we are having an else clause. After the while loop, if the left robot still has health greater than 0, its health is stored in the result list at the position corresponding to its original index. So what does this mean is that after this while loop is exited, we are having a left-faced robot with health greater than 0. If suppose the health is greater than 0, then we are storing that health of the surviving robot to the original index. Next is for this one. This means that we don't even care what parameter, what number is there, or what variable is there. We don't care about that. So for I, j, you can take it anything anyway. For I health index in robots list, result of index equal to health. So what does this mean is that after processing all the robots, this loop goes through any remaining robots in robot list and updates their health in the result list. So what it does is that this loop will go through all the surviving or the remaining robots which are there in that list and will update their health in the result list. So this list will keep track of all the robots which are surviving. Then survivors equals health for health. So another loop is inside survivors. That is, this is the resultant array, right? Surviving robots. So this creates a list of surviving robots. Health points by filtering the result list for values that are not none. So if the values are not none, then those surviving robots' health will be stored in survivors. Finally, if there are any survivors, it prints the health as a space separated string. If there are any survivors, it will print the survivor's health with space separated string. So dot join is actually used for strings. So it will return an array with survivor's health separated by spaces. Next one is else. So if suppose there are no survivors, we have to return an empty array. So I'm just printing no robots survived. So this one is n equals int input. So first one, we are getting the input of number of arrays. Second one, we are getting the positions of the robots. So what does this mean? So first, we are creating a list comprehension, right? So after creating list comprehension, we are filtering it and splitting it into a separate array for positions. Similarly, we are splitting separate array for health and directions. For directions, it's a string array, so it's quite easy. Next, we are calling the robot's collision n positions, health, directions, and we will get the output. So I'll run this code. I'll run this code. Running. First one will be n, right? So I'm giving 3. Next is the position of those robots. So I'm giving 1, 2, 3. Next is the health of the robots. So suppose 5, 7, 1. Next is directions. So R, L, L. The output is 6 and 1. How? Because the robot which is in position 1 has the health 5. The robot which is in position 2 has the health 7. So after collision, there is right and left. So they will collide obviously. So after collision, the robot which has health 7 will be decreased by 1. So 6. Next is Both these robots are moving in the same direction, that is left direction, so no collision will occur. Hence, this robot's health 1 will be displayed. So 6 1 is the output. So that is my problem statement, and this is the output for this problem statement. Thank you.